Now then YouTube, if you've seen some of my past videos, you'll have seen that I bought a McCormick B450 for my first tractor, and then I also ended up buying the farmer which was stood in the shed next to it, which runs really nice. The McCormick didn't run due to various other things such as the bent rocker arm, and the reason why this video has taken so long to put on is you'll soon find out if you watch it to the end of what all the other things I had to do to it to get it to run, with the help of good friends. So as you can see, Ian Gibson's come through with the goods. Just got some mail, look. Is there in here? Sorry, filter adapter piece. Filter. Filters. Two for B450s, one for BD6, because I thought that probably wants doing. A fuel filter. Another fuel filter. So this is a glove put conversion kit that I have gotten off John. Look as though they're all as one. They look nice, don't they? So oil filler cover's just gone a bit rusty, just going to give it some real rough sandpaper and clean it up. Got Stu Tune back in the workshop today, just adjusting the valve clearances. Got 0.22 on feeler gauge. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. So what have you done there? You've got that one slack then? That valve's open and you set that one. Right. That one down now. Let me set this one. And then just repeat it. Yeah. Right. Don't say it. If you're doing that, then I'll go and I'll make a start with something, and shall I? Yeah, you can do. Yeah. So Stu's just checked the clearances. They don't look to be now sticking. Yeah, it looks all right. Whistling real nice. Yeah. And I'm just been cleaning that up underneath here for that, as you can see, and then you can see big ends swivelling round. Oh, I'm getting a bit excited now, Stu. Yeah, nearly there. Ah. Yeah. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. So Stu Tune's just got the injectors in, not the injectors. Stu Tune's just got the glow plugs in. Look, just put them coppers on and adjusted them to fit, and cleaning gaskets up. And we're just looking at putting this clean sump on. Make your dinner out of that, Stu. You could have your soup out of that. And then we're just looking underneath here, making sure we put it all back right and cleaned up. Just shows again what that thing does. This thing is, if you're on an uneven ground, I think, if oil sloshes one way, it would go down, so it don't starve it of oil. So I've cleaned that gauze out of there, because that was a bit bunged up. It was like soup in there, it's like all gloopy. Yeah. So it should be clean and ready to go. Stu's refitted the sump while I went to get some oil. Filled it with oil. Put a new gasket on this. Tighten that rocker on. So we've got all that done. Does it even start? So we've got a bit of heat at glow plugs. It ain't having none of it, is it? I think fresh fuel filters and stuff then, isn't it? Apparently the replacement cartridges for them Sims fuel filters are hard to come by, so I'm going to change them for a more universal fuel filter. It's fairly mucky that, isn't it? That's out of the glass bowl. Just giving that a clean up. Yep, so I've got that mounted onto that plate, and I haven't had to weld something extra on, I've just gone to one side. Andrew thinks them flexes are going to look crap, and I think he's right. Taking the glass bowl off and clean that, look how clean that is, and clean the gauze out inside, because the gauze filter mesh, wire mesh stuff was really mucky. So I've got this made up, banjos soldered onto some copper pipe. I think it's 3/8 of an inch copper pipe, that, from Rydale Brakes. That's 10mm that I've bent as a template. There's 1, 2, 2, and that's there where I've nicked the banjos from. Guy from Diesels, I think it is, from Scarborough, said I could reuse them. They're smaller than I thought, so I've tucked them inside the pipe and filed off the burrs. So I filed it off, then used emery tape to smooth it down a bit, and then I'm going to tin it, so solder it, flux it, solder it, and then put them in, mark them where I want them, and then I've soldered them. Hopefully they aren't going to leak. And then I've into radial brakes to get more 3/8 pipe bed. So that's the bit of pipe that I want. They've got a nicer bender than what we've got. So this is what we're looking for, look there. So that's what we're looking at, where it comes into the glass bowl at the right. From the glass bowl up to the lift pump. From the lift pump round and back up to that's a cav filter, is that. Then from the cav and into there. So I didn't wanted a cav filter really, but I knew it's got that on it now. Been a bit brutal with it. I filed it to make it so the bigger, they're bigger than the 1/2 ones. I think they're like M14, so that 1mm bigger than 13mm. So I had to file them to make them fit, so they look a bit odd when you compare them to copper washers. So if it doesn't work, they will be to alter and get bigger ones. So we've got the filter there, and my new bit of pipe. Radial brakes is bent, so I've had to have a little kick in there. That bend was not as tight as the one that I've done with my bender, but it's done a nicer bend. As you can see, I've maybe just kinked it a little bit, and I've decided to take it out because that wasn't right, and then I've just decided to add a little bend in there to form it back, and it looks alright. That, as long as if it doesn't leak, I am happy with that. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. So next pipe's to do, but it's right there. Looks right there, looks right there. That's just coming off at the wrong angle, but it just wants a little bend back to there, and I think it'll go, actually. So it falls away at an angle to the back. It'll sort of marry in with that little bend in cast, which will look nice. Come round and up to there with a bit of tweaking. That looks as though I don't want much cutting off of it unless I lift it up. So I don't know if you can see here, and I've got the banjo in the vise. I've cleaned it up, and I'm just like fluxing it and soldering it, so it's called tinning. And the idea of this is that you need to tin it so that I can get it to stick when I solder it to the copper. So I'm having a little go, and now I've just cleaned up the bits and then redoing the bits now that I've missed. So that's one of the banjos done, and in a minute you'll see me take it out and put the pipe into the vise, and it slides inside. Usually when you solder fittings it goes the other way around, but I'm just fluxing the banjo there, fluxing the inside. I've even fluxed the inside of the pipe, and then I've put lines on it. So I tried it up, put lines on it so that hopefully I would solder it in the right spot. I couldn't believe how nice it fit in as well. And then wipe it off with a rag just to try and make it look a bit neater, and then blowing any muck out of it. Well, we've got one plus. There's diesel in that tank, and that tap now turns off after giving it a bit of a clean. Got it piped to there. I think that's fairly dry. That's full of diesel. Comes down to there and then drips down there. It's not a soldered joint, it's the banjo connector. That's why I wanted rid of them brass ones, because that brass one won't nip up. It's only on 2 threads really. Now it's slipping as the spanner off the brass, because it's all the threads have gone inside of that aluminium cast there. But them threads have been wound down to nothing really. They're not getting old. So anyway, I've pinched one. Come across a knackered lift pump. What I'm trying to say in this video is I've pinched the housing, as that's the bit that I needed. Will work. So I've got it. No leaks by the looks of it. Been lifting it, giving it a few of them, and got it to there. But I haven't got any 5/16 UNCs. Whether it's leaking or not, it's probably because it's all run down from there. And it's a bit of an awkward spot to put that filler cap there. So there's filler cap. There's fill levels. I filled up with fresh oil. It wasn't nice. Wasn't the stuff that came out. And then just got back from Scotland. My 2 bolts have come, so I've cut them down and made them 1/2 inch long. Used a lift pump got it out of there, got out of that air tap there, got out of that air tap there, and that one there, just to say slacken these, put battery back on. Okay, what's wrong here? I think solenoid isn't great. I've had to whack that a few times with spanner. Just had Andy Fabs helping us. Managed to get it to come out of that third one, but that second one, can't even get any diesel to come out of there. So I've whipped the cover off with them 2 bolts. They're held in by them, they're the tops. There's 2 screws that go, or 2 bolts that go down there to hold them in, and they sort of twist out. So they go in like that and then twist into them little locking positions. And I'm going to hold my camera there because I can't see what's going on. Yeah.
Right,
engine
spin and she dropped down.
I think that'll go.
Wait, it'll pop up again, yeah, so to keep...
You want some WD-40 on it before we do it?
Yeah, won't keep going, she's moving now.
Is she?
Yeah.
Spitting diesel out at top.
Too much beer.
So the pros got us to smear some grease in there, and then that's just sort of held that gasket. And you're just tightening that on. Crash bang wallop. This is it. Is it going to go straight away?
You might, yeah.
I'm a bit nervous.
You've got spanners that injector. Have you taken them all up?
I think I've tightened them all up. Whoa! Monitored, isn't she?
Nearly.
I need solenoid tap.
Flat out there.
That's flat out, I think, is that, yeah? Oh, where's that? Oh, yeah, let's see that. Is it knackered?
Nearly there.
Oh, nearly. What's up with it then?
Like a you.
Do you want a tip cart, Stu?
Tip card? No.
Local.
If I take that on, I'll be thrown out.
Local?
I know, I've seen it, yeah.
Scamston. Have you seen back axle?
Thackeray's?
Yeah.
The governor's maybe stuck in pump with it, we're not being done yet.
You need to keep heat on, I think, also. Yeah? You need to come around. Keep round with it. So I've just found out the clutch is stuck on it. Look under here. I can't see. You can maybe see why it's stuck. Anyway, Stewie's going to try and pry it while I press clutch on. See if that does any good. The princess will go to the ball.
See it moving, yeah. You'll get up and
Yeah.
press pedal down.
Just press pedal down.
Yeah. Is it out of gear?
No, it's in gear.
Just take her out of gear.
It's out of gear now.
I think she's free.
Yeah.
I think so.
What should we do? Should we go trying it then?
Give her another rock then and see if she it moved its plate. Tripod.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Camera. End its filming career.
I know, I took the plate off.
Yeah.
Put a bar.
Now she's got to, I think he's moved, but it's going to give it a rock. We'll have a rough with it. Robert coming back from the Providence. Been there all afternoon, boozed up on tractor. Don't know where he is, can't drive in a straight line. But he's loving it. He loves it. Simply lovely.
So I'd like to thank Ian Gibson for giving us a rocker. There's Andy Kent for getting it there and helping us do bits to it. And Stu Wilson's done an awful lot to get it running. My brother's helped out a bit. Auto diesels and radial brakes were very helpful to get it running as well. Also John from International Tractor Parts, he's been a big help in supplying me some bits, and the knowledge he has was great. But there's still also a lot to fix, such as the fuel leaks still. Hydraulics out, there was something stuck on that I think, and also there's also the steering box to stop it leaking and stop it whapping about all over the road.